Everybody, Karyn Bryant for MMA H.E.A.T here with Gegard Mousasi, of course, the champion over at Bellator, the middleweight champion, in town visiting in Santa Monica at his manager Nima's house. You guys may remember this from interviews such as Alexander Gustafsson, the same place. Yeah. How you been? How are you, champ?
I'm good.
Yeah.
A little bit holiday, a little bit training to keep the shape, and then go back in and then training camp.
I saw you running on the beach. Oh, I didn't see you. I saw some posts of you running on the beach in Santa Monica today.
Yeah, I look.
You look lean. You look lean in the picture.
Yeah, I was just keeping the shape, and I just, but because I eat cookies in the morning and then I eat a lot.
It's okay though, because actually it's funny. That's one of the things we would get into it. But you and I had talked before one time when you were here about the possibility of you going to light heavyweight. But then when you went over to Bellator, was that an option? Did you think about going to both classes over there, or did you right away know you wanted to be middleweight there?
Right away middleweight, because we were chasing the middleweight belt. Light heavyweight is also an option. Ryan Bader is a tough opponent. He's, because people would say Bellator is the old people's place, but you have Ryan Bader as the champion. You have me. You have Rory. So those champions are really, we can compete at UFC, and we competed at the highest level, and we could have all fought for the belt or get the belt,
Right. Well, and Lyoto's over there now too, a former champion and stuff. So did you, it's funny, the fight with Rory, that was one thing you needed to do first, right? Was become the champion and then fight him. You guys wanted a champion fight, or was he somebody that you just thought would be a good fight for you anyway?
Well, he said he wanted to come up to middleweight and fight. And
he wanted to do the heavyweight tournament.
He doesn't. He just is just talking.
Rory's a badass. He's just willing for the challenge.
I thought it's a good fight. I thought that's a good fight. I can win that one, and I thought he's a big name. Yeah. But then I went back and I watched this fight, and I'm not looking forward to the fight, because he comes to fight. He doesn't give up. He's tough. He's a tough cookie. So I'm not happy with the fight, to be honest, now.
Really?
Before I was happy. I was like, I beat up. He's a welterweight. But I watched this fight. I'm like, no, this is gonna be a tough fight. But you never know in a fight. Sometimes you go in, you finish in one round. Right. Sometimes you go 5 rounds. But
he's not small though.
He's not small. He's a big welterweight. Yeah. Maybe maximum I will have 10 pounds on him. Yeah. That's not gonna decide if I'm gonna win or not. That's not gonna be. It's gonna help me. It's gonna help me, but it's not a decisive factor in the fight.
So you're a guy who throws your jab very well. We know that Rory's face has been compromised before in the fights with Robbie Lawler. So I would imagine that's something that you would take advantage of.
Well, stand up, I'm better. The reach, I feel like I'm faster than him. Maybe I don't look fast, but like
according to the girls, you are.
Which girls? Don't listen to them. But I'm fast.
Yeah.
Oh, this joke, now I get it. Yeah. Well, I was younger, I was fast, but now I'm good. Don't worry.
But you have.
I don't know who I'm talking to, but
you have other advantages over him as well. But so do you? With Rory though, is that a fight that you feel like you would prefer it to be on the feet, or is there? You're great at ground and pound, exactly.
I will take him down. If I want to have the guy has good conditioning. He's the lighter guy. He will have good conditioning, but I will have to pressure him. I have to put him on the backwards. With pressure, I can fatigue him. And on the ground, being the bigger guy, with the ground upon him, making him work. In the clinch, I will have advantage. So those are all areas I can fatigue him and have advantage over them. So those parts, I can take advantage of the size and being I feel like the stronger fighter, bigger and. So if I get them in those positions, for sure. But also stand up. He should go backwards, and he knows that. Yeah. He knows that. Well, maybe he's watching.
Maybe he's watching. Are you going to do all your camp there? Because, honestly, you're here in Santa Monica right now. There's a ton of great gyms in Southern California. Have you ever, and obviously, Bert, whatever you and Bert are doing is totally working, but have you ever considered, going somewhere else and just seeing what else is out there?
No, when I was younger, yeah. But after working for a long time in Holland now, I have everyone. I have the strength and conditioning coach, I have the wrestling, I have the stand-up, everything. You know, I trained a lot of places. So after all those years, you settle down a little bit, you find your place, and it works for me. I don't you know, running is running, training is training. It doesn't matter if I do it here in US or if I do it in Holland. Maybe the training partners.
That's what I'm thinking. There's just more people, more bodies.
Yeah, but I have a lot of big heavyweights where I train, and kickboxing I don't come short. Maybe on the jiu-jitsu area I come short, but
you can beat up a jiu-jitsu guy with this. What is it? How do you change a black belt to a?
Like wrestling. This is not wrestling. This is not jiu-jitsu. This is MMA. And I think I can win, yeah, of course.
Well, I'm excited to see that fight, but obviously first and foremost, for it to be a champion versus champion, you had to win the Bellator title. So I think I told you after this fight, and again, I feel like Michael Bisping, he's always saying no disrespect, and then he lays into somebody. But I thought on the walkout that the former champ didn't want to be there. He just didn't look. I mean, I get it. Some people walk out and they're totally calm. I mean, for example, like literally Wade was like, well, but have you seen Gegard walk out? He looks like he's in line at the drugstore. So I can't compare your calm, cool demeanor to somebody else's. But to me, he just didn't look that fired up to be in there. And then the fight was over quickly, and I seemed like maybe I was right.
Yeah, 100%. Because my coach is crazy a little bit. He was filming him. He was sitting in his locker room like this for hours, staring. He was. Because we had the stare down at the press conference, he looked confident. I was like, oh fuck, this guy is going to fight. And at the weigh-ins, eyes don't lie, like they say, and I felt like he was scared, or not scared, he was nervous. Yeah. So that night I slept really good, to be honest. I slept like 7-8 hours. It was pretty good for me. Yeah. And then even when we were at the stare down in the cage, he was not there. Yeah. So I didn't scare him. I didn't try to intimidate him. Maybe just by my presence, it was more than enough. But I think he was already beaten a little bit before the fight started. But that's the fights I want. Easy fights. So who wants to go there and five rounds? Right. So, but the Rory is not scared. But I think Rory is a clean fighter, and he will very soon will know that. If he's clean, he's not going to beat me.
That's good. That's good. Well, your first fight over there, Shlemenko, that was a tough fight.
Yeah, that was a tough fight.
And I feel like he was able to inflict more damage on you than I'd seen anybody do in a while. So how is your eye? Because that was a concern afterwards.
He just caught me a couple times. I watched the fight back. He caught me a couple times with spinning back kick, or he didn't flush, but he got me maybe 2-3 punches on my face. That was the third round. Other than that, he didn't really damage. I was never dazed. Listen, I won round 1 and 2, and he won round 3, and then. But I believe if I didn't have that eye injury, I would have won round 3 also. Yeah.
How much did it bother you in the fight?
A lot, because I was thinking like. He's a southpaw, so for me everything is different. And then he's doing spinning back kicks, spinning back elbows, and whatever he does. So, and the third round, I wasted a lot of energy because I was in panic fighting then in round 1 and 2. So I was fatigued a little bit. I was.
And why were you panicked though? Just because it was your debut and there was more pressure, right?
Yeah, everything also, but. Let's say if you fight on automatic pilot, you're going. But like people understand, like if I can swim 10 miles, but when there's a shark behind me, after 1 mile you're fatigued. Right. So it's different when you're in panic and you have one eye closed and you're like, what's happening? And so it's different fight.
So the third round for you, it was like survival mode.
Survival mode, and from the first minute it was survival. First round it was because he caught me, and right away my eye was closed, and I grabbed him and I took him down, and then it was a different fight. It was a very different fight. But do I believe I'm a better fighter than him? Yeah. Did he do well in that fight? Yeah. You have to respect him. He's a tough opponent. He comes to fight.
Yep. I mentioned Lyoto Machida before. Obviously, that's something that I think a lot of people would love to see. You guys having a rematch. I was there. That was in Jaraguá.
Yeah.
I think when you fought him, I was there. It was a very close fight, and you did way better against Machida than a lot of people had done at that time.
Yeah.
No, really, I mean, because you were able to take him down, I believe, and at the time.
I took him down, but he got up. It was like a fish. He got back up. He was slippery, and I watched the fight. He was slippery, very slippery. I had one time his back. He got up a little bit. I slimmed down. And I made a salto over his back. He was greased up. I don't know. To the idiots on TV land, I have to explain them. Even Luke Rockhold told he was slippery. So I'm not making things up. I see. My eyes are not blind. I see. I felt. I couldn't catch him. Those things matter. He cheated. That's, you know, what can I say? Last fight I watched, his Vitor Belfort fight. He had a belly. With me, my fight, he had a six-pack like a.
That was years ago.
How many years ago?
Oh, was that 4 years ago?
But he still cuts weight.
Yeah.
So he's a 205. He cuts weight. You're gonna look slim. Yeah. You're not gonna look 4 years later. You don't have gonna have a six-pack suddenly. You know what I mean? Because you have to cut that weight. You're gonna look slim. Because it's difficult to make that weight. And after USADA, we saw he got knocked out a couple times with not even big punches. And. You know, you can say whatever you want. I know. You know, people know. If Rory says, who he fought, the champion?
Georgie. Lima, rather.
No, not Lima. The UFC champion.
When he fought Robbie?
Yeah, Robbie. When he said he was on steroids. Robbie looked also different after USADA. Okay, maybe I shouldn't say that.
Anyway, everybody knows here MMA Heat that we love us some Lyoto Machida, but you have, whatever you have your belief.
Well, listen, he's a nice guy. He's a very nice guy. But nice guys cheat too.
Sure, no, it can happen. But how much does that bother you then? How much more does that inspire you to get the rematch?
We're gonna fight. It's good that he's in Bellator.
Yeah.
First, I didn't like that he came to Bellator.
Stealing your shine there?
No.
You want to be the cock of the walk over there?
He's a nice guy.
Hey, I'm Gegard. I don't need.
I respect the guy. He's a nice guy. Yeah. But he cheated for sure. And I'm the dragon. I drink pee and stuff. But. The little dragon, they come after me now, but he presents him a certain way, but I know what was the truth.
Right.
And it's gonna be a little bit bad blood, and I hope he wins this fight. But we're gonna test him. We're gonna test him. I'm not gonna fight him if he doesn't get tested for blood, urine a couple times. He lives in LA, so it's easy to test him. Yep. And then, listen, even if he wasn't, I feel like if he didn't cheat, he could have defeated me in that fight. He's
very good.
No, he's really good. Even if he didn't cheat, he could have defeated me. I was also coming from injury and fighting Brazil. He could have still defeated me. I'm not the crazy guy. I would have.
That's the only reason.
That's the only reason. He's skilled. Yeah. So of course he can beat me. But like he's now what, 40, 41? Yeah. It's different time. I'm in my prime, and it's different time. And let's hope he wins, and then we can settle the score.
Did anybody ever, along the course of your career, try to get you to take performance enhancements?
Listen, I was fighting in Japan. It's
different place, different time and a different place.
But even the good guys are tempted to go that direction because you think your opponents are doing it. So it's difficult. It's difficult. But since you started, I'm not. I was happy. I was happy because I knew they cannot cheat anymore. So it's.
And they made some mistakes, but I think it's better. It's better for guys like you. I mean, you could get seriously hurt by somebody who's cheating. So.
Yeah, people don't understand that. When it doesn't happen to them, they're always like, "Oh, bad loser," and this and that. But I've faced some cheaters and I lost to them. Yeah. If they cheat, they get confident. They go into the cage and they're like, I'm going to beat this guy. They're confident. But if they don't use it, they're not the same guy, mentally also.
Right.
So it's if I'm mentally strong and I go into the cage and this guy uses something and is mentally strong, there goes my advantage.
Yeah.
So it helps definitely for. So it's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I'm glad you never have. I think, and that's one less thing for you to worry about is like, that I'm gonna get caught for something, because I would feel like that.
Listen, they can go watch my fights. My body has never changed.
Yep.
I was at 205. I was fat. So it's not like I was muscular. I didn't look different. I've been my whole career. I've looked the same.
Yeah.
So I always performed the same. I had ups and downs, I didn't perform always at my best. But at my best, I'm one of the best, 100%.
Well, everybody knows that because, for example, the other day, Uriah Hall had a fight, and the name they always bring up is your name. When they talk about somebody's resume, your name comes up all the time if it's a former opponent of yours and they had any kind of success against you at all. So that proves to you how much your name actually means. And you said something a minute ago about comments or something like that. Like, do you feel like the tide kind of changed a little bit? You started, I always say to people are like, oh my God, a couple of years ago, I had no idea Gegard was so funny. I'm like, well, I knew, because I feel like I got the real you a long time ago, but you became more outspoken, but that draws more haters too.
No, because when I wasn't speaking, the people would still don't like me. It doesn't matter. If I'm an asshole, people don't like me. If I'm polite, they're not gonna like me. So why
which one's more fun, polite or asshole?
Oh no, I cursed a lot of them out, and I blocked them on my Instagram. It makes me feel better than be polite.
Yeah.
I remember when I was young, I was a little bit like Robert Whittaker. He's also so polite and nice. That guy's a nice guy. I was like that, even more boring than him. Oh, he's not boring. I mean, but I was worse. I was like, I'm come to fight. But people didn't like me then.
But also, people ask a lot of dumb questions though at the press. Like I feel for you guys when you guys are at the press conferences or media day. You answer the same question over and over. But as part of your job, so you kind of have to suck it up. But it definitely did seem that the more outspoken and the more the a-hole Gegard Mousasi, like the better you did in terms of publicity and stuff like that.
People love it. I don't know.
It's fun.
Or people don't like it also. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm not here to please everyone. I'm just I'm gonna have a fun, and I'm gonna
Cool. And how much longer are you gonna keep doing it? I mean,
I have 4 fights, and then I feel like I'm gonna retire.
Really?
Bye bye, Mousasi bitches. You're gonna miss me then, assholes.
Yeah, we will.
No, I don't think.
Four more?
4 more fights.
Would you ever go back to the UFC?
No, to be honest, no. And I'm not saying that because I'm now in Bellator, but I don't feel like going back to UFC. If after 4 fights I want to
because you could do that in a year and a half. You could, in theory,
I'm
do 4 fights in a
planning
year
to
and a half.
fight very fast in January, and then April, and then get another one end of the year. Hopefully I'm done next year.
Really?
And then drink some cocktails or something.
And then ride your lawnmower around all day.
Yeah, there's a lot more fun things to do than sweating, breaking my body, going into the fights. People that love fighting, they're crazy.
Right.
I don't understand people. I love fighting. They don't love fighting. They don't get paid. They're not gonna fight. It's just that I will have enough to retire.
Well, you're also an intelligent guy and can do other things. So you and your brother, I know you own a lot of land.
We're rich. We're rich. Not rich, come on, but
rich and single, ladies.
No, rich enough to have a good life for me and my family. I don't need. I don't need a yacht or a. I don't. You don't
need to live like Connor to be happy.
No, I don't. No, eventually, like if you have 3 million or 10 million, if you have 10 million. That steak is that steak. You can eat that. There's one steak you can eat. How better can that steak be? You can wear one watch. You can have one good car. You cannot drive them all. Right. It's overdue, and I don't want that. I rather stop fighting and then have fun.
Yeah.
I have a lot of fun when I'm not fighting.
Nice. I bet you do. But so would you just literally just retire and do whatever? Like, what would you do if you weren't fighting
For 1 year, I would do crazy stuff. I would go full crazy. I cannot say the other words. And then I'm gonna calm the fuck down and and then maybe a family.
Why do I feel like the first thing was gonna have the F word in it too?
Yeah. But I want to enjoy 1 year.
Yeah.
I want to be a free birdie.
Yeah. And then you want baby Gegards?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I have to, huh?
You have to? Why do you have to? You don't have to. There's no law that says you have to have children.
Later on, they have to take care of me.
You have a
Literally,
brother,
if
right? You have a sister, and you have a mom, and you have.
Yeah, but they get older also, so we need the people to take care of us. I don't do it for them.
Sounds like a great job being Gegard's son. Wow, thanks.
Yeah, but that's the only job that they're gonna need to do. They don't need to work. They just have to take care of me.
That's nice.
And I will be happy.
Well, you actually do a lot for your whole family, don't you?
No, we do everyone does a lot. My brother does a lot, my mother does a lot. I just fight, I make the money. My brother invests, he separate. Everyone has a loan, so everyone.
Oh, really? Do you
everyone,
call in the markers on the loans?
My brother pays every month to everybody, so my whole family lives from it.
So on Christmas, are you really paying for all your own presents?
Now we don't do present on that. We don't do that crap.
No
we do a little bit.
It's basically like a work. It's like a work program living in your house, right? You have to work to earn your keep. And
No, no one.
Gifts or rewards.
No. We just
time in the yard at all? Do they get?
No, we separate the money every month, and then we live. I get more, of course, because
My money. Because you made it. So why wouldn't you make it?
I spend more than the rest of the people.
Good,
but
good.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was going to take you to get
We
a
do
watch.
our Christmas.
You do.
Yeah, we celebrate. I get drunk all the year, and we do fireworks and.
Nobody buys you birthday presents or anything?
No.
All right.
And a little bit. My mother on my birthday maybe give my friends, we eat a cake or something. I don't know. We're not so much into celebrate.
Well, speaking of cake, we're gonna go get some.
Yeah.
We're gonna get some
Cheesecake.
dinner. Why do you like the Cheesecake Factory so much? Not that I need to do an advertisement.
Every
for them,
time I've been to Cheesecake, I've eaten the same thing, chicken something. I haven't changed it for almost 10 years. That's what I eat.
I feel like we had it in San Diego even once before your
every
fight.
time. Yeah. All time, every time the same thing. Yeah.
Nice. Consistency. All right, well, listen, Gegard, the fight is when? September 29th?
29.
And
yes.
where is it?
San Jose.
Oh, that's right, because I think we could actually make it to that one, which would be
that's
great.
a good one.
Yeah, because all the time you're in England, you're in East
Europe
Coast,
is nice,
all this stuff. Yeah.
Europe, I like, yeah.
Awesome. All right, well, listen, it's always good to see you, and I'm glad that you're here.
Thank you, Karyn.
It's nice to call you champ again.
Yeah, thank you, Karyn. Thank you. Kapow, people, bitches. Mousasi in the house. Okay, that was it. I'm Gegard Mousasi. I'm the Bellator champion, and you're at MMA H.E.A.T.